G'day guys, it's Dave here from Old Rigs Down Under. Welcome to the latest video. In this one, I take you for a walk around the Ivanhoe Dry Times Truck, Tractor, Car and Bike Show, which is obviously in Ivanhoe in outback New South Wales. So good little road trip this one, and a great collection of gear, some really unique trucks and tractors and old earth moving equipment in a country town setting in outback New South Wales. I hope you enjoy it and get a good feel for what was a very good show. We certainly did, and we'll definitely be back up there again. It's always good to see plenty of Macks kicking around up there, and we added to that for this one. Hope you enjoy the video, guys. On the way out to Ivanhoe for the truck and tractor show out here. A little offside of Jack here. Say good day, Jack. Bouncing around in the old cab over, which is pretty rough, but yeah, heading out towards One Tree here, which is north of Hay. So probably an hour and a half we'll be at our destination. So until then, we'll keep bouncing along. So it's a little bit breezy out here at Ivanhoe, but we've got everything unloaded. So we're just going to go put the trucks in formation now. We've got Sutto in the old pizza oven. I'll take the Forever Young. We've got Sefty in the Flintstone. We'll come back for round two. Here at Ivanhoe Recreation Ground for the Dry Times Truck, Tractor and Car and Ute and Bike and whatever show. Beautiful day here today, bit of breeze. Oval's looking magnificent. Just do a quick walk around and see what's here. A couple of things have left, but otherwise it's pretty good. So this is the fleet that myself and Sutto brought up. A little bit of cab over representation, which is good. We did have a Peterbilt and a W model here this morning, but they've actually, you can just see Peterbilt through there, 82 model. So yeah, the pizza oven, Forever Young. I was fortunate enough this morning to have a good chat to one of the Lindsay family from Lindsay Brothers, who own the blue and white truck from New. And that was really good. It was a great couple of hours talking and reminiscing. Sneak over and have a look at the R model here with an LTL. R model, not sure if it's one of Green Freight's, it's certainly their colours. Bit of a light spec, it's had a bunk added to it. Bit of a funny roof modification on the truck. I do apologise for the sunlight and the shadow, but you can see there, it looks like it's had a different roof grafted onto it. But anyway, all these are modifications that have helped the truck keep going at some point in its life. So it's got 34s, 5-spoke spiders, Mack diffs, single rail, a little bit hard to put a date on this one, but it's got a swing and shackle front end on it. See there the springs, and looks to have an airbag under the cab. It's a bit hard to tell there. So, you know, it's probably 76, 77, 78, thereabouts. Yeah, good old workhorse. LTL here next to it. Plenty of LTLs starting to get around on the show truck circuit, and this one has had a pretty good working life by the look of it. It's been jacked up a bit. It's a pretty decent looking truck really, sleek line bunk, 400 Cummins. It's done some heavy work. Rockwell diffs, A little bit hard to tell. I'm not really sure on the rock walls. There could be SSHDs with that power divider setup. I'm not sure. Someone might be able to correct me on that. Bit of a theme on some of these working trucks up here are these rubber conveyor mudguards. They always look pretty good, I reckon. That doesn't look to be a bad setup there. You can use these two cranks in the middle, which are just mudguard poles, and you can turn them upwards to keep tension on your rubber. You've got the trampoline springs at the back of it. That's the other style there on that arm model. I don't mind that with the chrome quarter guard or stainless quarter guard. But yeah, pretty good truck anyway. A lot of people got good memories of an LTL. Little FL80 Freightliner. Old 1418 cab over, pretty interesting, and I'm pretty sure this has got, it's either got an L10 or an M11 Cummins, I believe. Shoehorned in there. Not really sure I'll be able to see too much from here. Jeez. Yeah, anyway, M11 I think. It's a pretty good truck with a, it's got his own little mobile home there. He gets around to quite a few of the shows. He's got some interesting equipment. Another R600. Good old Outback pack on this one. Good heavy bull bar and stiff bar and so forth on it. So it would have done plenty of road train work in its day around Narromine. Sometimes you can date it from those tags, but they usually get painted over and you can't see them. But there's a pretty good truck. I think it's been in their family for a good while. I might have been talking out my arse there. This has only got 34s under it, but it still would have hauled a lot of weight anyway. They used to have a Superliner as well. It's still around. It's painted up in the same colours. He's one of the Carmichael's trucks, Alan Carmichael. He's one of the organisers, or the main organiser of the show out here. And yeah, just a really good, probably early to mid 80s R600. Looks to have a 2-valve Econodyne on it, in it I should say. Still got the early sun visor on it. Was perhaps a shell truck or something like that. It's got the look about it, single rail. With light diffs, it's got 34s. So 34s, it's got 9-speed Mack box, 502 diff ratio. So I'm not sure if it was just a common spec or if the shell trucks were a little bit quicker than that. I don't know. But anyway, still it's a pretty good example of one. Series 2 Superliner here. Old North Coast truck at one point, sold through Brown and Hurley. Yeah, got the V8 in it, got the Mack bull bar. You see the Series 2's got the square headlight or rectangular headlights, and the flatter looking sun visor, so you can tell it's a Series 2. And it sits up a little bit higher as well. They lifted the cab mounts up with that RHS bracket there. This one's got looks to be maybe a 12-speed. Yeah, it looks like a 12. And the banana back bunk on it. They used to make them tapered like concave like that for a little bit of clearance on higher trailers. Not a lot of room to sleep in them in the middle, they're pretty skinny. You can probably imagine it only comes to about there in the guts of it. But yeah, still a classic. Would have looked pretty flash in its day, but a bit of clear coming off it now. Plenty of signs of a hard working life. And here's a bit newer superliner. Pretty decent looking paint job on this one. Shows you how far they've come in about 30 years. Some would argue they haven't come that far at all, but anyway. Here's the Carmichael fleet. This is Alan's brother John. He's got the blue and white trucks. So a couple of newer breed superliners here, and this one's got the modified bonnet on it, which is an option for the new trucks. Champion bonnet, which comes from Rockhampton, and they've got the square edges on them like they used to have with the LT grill. This is a B61 that he restored probably between 5 and 10 years ago, I'd guess. They're beautifully done, no expense spared. Get a bit of a look inside there. Really nicely done with these guards. Good heavy bracket on there. Still got the two cranks under there to give you a bit of tension. Yeah, not that this one does any work now, it just looks good and tows the odd trailer around. V8 value liner. They did this one up about 10 years ago or 12 years ago, something like that. Bloody good to see. They still work it. They still tow some side tippers with it. And in my opinion, this is the star of the show here, the Series 2 superliner. I remember test driving this one in about 2003 when I did some work on it at Hardwick's Trucks in Wagga. I think it had 12-speed V8 500 with maybe 502 diffs. It just sat on about 85 k's an hour. Absolutely fantastic. And this one was in a flood out on between here and Wilcannia, sort of maybe just off the Cobb Highway, I think, and the water was lapping up to about the bonnet. Got bogged and then had a heap of rain, and yeah, it was all just water up to there. So had to wait for a number of weeks, I think, until all the water went down. Then they took her in and rebuilt it, and that's what we got left with today. So yeah, it's had a few modifications over the years. The tanks weren't painted on it when I did a bit of work on it years ago. They were just alloy, but yeah, doesn't do as much now. It's a bit of a spare truck, but still gets used on occasion. I don't think Johnny will ever sell this one. It's a beauty. More stuff as we go along here. Don't know my old Holdens, but I'm going to have a hazard a guess and say it's an FX. FJ, got that one wrong, so some of the Holden gurus on here might be able to tell me some differences. It's good to see, they're always a classic. Would have been a heap sold out here once upon a time. I was talking to a bloke here the other day and he said that Ivanhoe used to have 3 car dealerships in the 60s, so that was the boom time. FJ's a little bit 50s more than 60s, but yeah, it was just a good time for the area back then. Here's a beautifully restored B61. Now this is a local contractor, done a beautiful job with it. Matching the trailer behind it. It's good to see it. Good to see it restored and living another life. It's done all its hard work now. Sorry about the wind noise here today. It's just a bit breezy. And you'll probably be able to hear a Lance Bulldog tractor popping away in the background there. So these guys are contractors for the Central Darling Shire out here. So they've got a little bit of earth moving equipment and good collection of tractors and so forth as well. Farm all Super 90 on the back there. Pretty good reliable truck, the old S-Line. Would have made plenty of people some money. Really nicely restored old B61 there. Probably done a long time ago too. You know, it's just been a very tidy original truck for a long time. So he's a brother of the guy with the red beam model. And we've got a 7 Series Dodge here, V653. Very nicely restored. We'll have a quick look at this B61. It's a pretty early one. It's got the early front axle. Page and page pusher. Field master dozer. Fowler, I should say, not a field master. D5N with the 653 GM in it, pretty collectible. A couple of later Western Stars here. Pretty sure all three of these trucks, Road Commander included, belong to a bloke at Balranald, Jimmy Smithers. Bit of a unique Road Commander, this one with the Aerodyne style roof with the high bunk on it. Done a pretty good job getting it back on the road again. A couple of unique Atkinsons here. Both have got a straight 8 Gardner in them, 8LX, 8LXB I think is the model. The sun's just in the wrong spot there for me. It's not really favourable for a bit of camera work, but yeah, you can see the 8 cylinder. It's all the way in there. You can see this old one here, it's a 3/4 cab. So I think Travancore used to own that with the red and grey. They had a couple of them. And yeah, pretty unique. It's good to see these old things around. You don't see too many of them. There's more Gardners here than I've seen in 10 years, I reckon. This one's had a turbo fitted. I don't know if that was entirely standard. When you look at them, great big long fuel pump there with all of these shut-off levers here. Very unique. A really good collection of trucks here. As you can see, it's a really good setting. Just do it on the footy oval here. Just run through and have a look at a couple of these tractors. Field Marshal here. Old 900 case, pretty cool old tractor. Pretty good collection of Bulldogs and Fowlers and Field Marshals here. A few good old Minis as well. A little bit hard to tell with that sun there, but it's a GVI or a GV1 they call them. I'm not really sure, but they're pretty similar to a G705 from what I can gather. And this Massey 97 is the same tractor again, just in a different set of clothes. Big long thing, still got the Rooster Master pump and the Minneapolis engine. So it's just a 504 cubic inch, the same as this G705. Yeah, good long bonnet on them. Pretty sure these Masseys were imported. I don't think they sold them out here, but nonetheless, it's a beautiful tractor. It's good to see it. Standard 88 Oliver. Pretty good example. It's still in pretty good shape. That sheet metal's in good nick. Here's another Fowler crawler. This is a pretty interesting one here. It's a 40k Chamberlain with 6LX Gardner in it. Unbelievable. So someone's gone to a lot of effort to fit that. Be a bloody good tractor. Plenty of weight in it. I'd like to see it have a go on the tractor pull. Not sure what that is, whether it's an 80 or a 90 Oliver. The Field Marshal. Big Comfort King 930 case. Don't know too much about this one. 900 industrial, I don't really know what era it is. It's a bloody old tractor. A lot of cast in it. It's got the cast radiator, a little bit like an 80 or a 90. Fair bit of rust in this rim here, so he's obviously found her and she's been sitting somewhere for a long time, I'd say. But it's a beauty anyway. Pretty tidy old Super 90, been tidied up a bit. Owned by the dancing blokes again. They're contractors out here. And pretty nice WD9 as well. These both look like probably a little bit older restorations. But yeah, really good to see them out and about. I'll have a quick look at this old contraption over here. They use this to pull the sleds backwards. So obviously the tractor on the sled pulls it that way. Then they've got this old rocket to pull it backwards at the end of it all. So it's the front of an Atkinson. We'll get on the other side where you can see it. So it's a front axle out of an Atkinson, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, Atkinson radiator, 6LX Gardner engine. I think it's got a 9-speed road ranger. I'm not really sure on the back diff, but they've just put some Minneapolis Moline body sides on it. See, they've got a brake booster under there. You flick a lever and it lifts the hook up. Lifts that hook up there, into there. And instead of having a couple of extra fellas on the sled all the time to be hooking up the chain, you can have one operator on the tractor, flick a button, pull that up. So they've got a sled on there and a big sled there. So anyway, it's just about do us. Well, might load up, I reckon. Early Super 90, this one. It formed yesterday. The early ones with this style of bonnet badge on them are the early ones. They're like a cast material. And 930 case with plenty of weight on it. Pulls pretty well, this one. Saw it yesterday in the tractor pull. So yeah, it's a ripper actually. Yeah, good to see these old tractors just in their work clothes, not restored. Obviously 371 Jimmy in this one. Not sure what these case engines were. They were 400 odd cubic inch, I think. They've got the Lenovo fuel injection system in them. You've got the pre-combustion chamber, I suppose you call them, and the injector chutes horizontally across the bottom of the head. And but so you can always tell the Minneapolis had some the same, and some of the early diesel Macks with the Lenovo engines had that as well. Hence the name, the Lenovo combustion system. Yeah, anyway, terrific lot of stuff here. Set of brand new side tippers here, or near new side tippers for Carmichael's. And we've got the roadshow loaded up. The value liner with the Forever Young on the back. Solo's living quarters. And we've got the Ultraliner loaded up with Forever Young and the Flintstone. The pizza oven and the Flintstone. So we're ready to rock and roll. It's been a really good show. And we've just got to head back home again, get back to reality.